Arsenal have made a major move. In a summer where the striker was always the priority, after weeks of negotiating for Benjamin Sesko, attention has now turned elsewhere. So today we'll get the breaking news on Viktor Gyökeres, as well as getting the latest on the future of Nwaneri. We'll discuss a potential offer for Madueke, as well as breaking down every single detail of Arsenal's first summer major signing. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bass14. Welcome back to your boys channel. We have a striker bomber to break down. So as per my friends, smash a like on this video if you do enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new, helping your boy enjoy the 300,000 subscribers. But starting off with the Zubimendi arrival. After months and months of negotiations and all the reports that Arsenal had signed the player, last minute reports coming out of Real Madrid, under new manager Xabi Alonso, a man who reportedly loves Zubimendi, in a deal that Arsenal reportedly agreed all the way back in January. The arrival of Zubimendi was only pending one thing, and that was a confirmation. So after reports already confirmed, the departure was more than finalised, pending only the official announcement, which was delayed as a sign of respect to Diego Jota. On a very special Sunday, it was time for Arsenal to make things official, and boy did they do it in style, dropping a fantastic announcement video, with the caption controlling the tempo, Martin Zubimendi is a gunner, with Zubimendi saying at the end of the video, "Let's make music. Zubi dooby doo, where are you? Well, now you are officially an Arsenal player." For a player that feels like we signed nearly 10 different times. We've got the agreement, we got the here we go, we got the medical. Make no mistake, there still should be a lot of hype about this transfer. Not only are Arsenal getting one of the most in-demand players in all of Europe, it was only last summer where Liverpool thought they'd got the deal done. But here he is now as an Arsenal player, alongside sporting director Andrea Berta, with Arsenal confirming that he will wear the number 36 shirt, the same exact number that he wore at Real Sociedad when he initially broke onto the first team. And as the man himself says, "Hi Gooners, I'm really happy to be here. I'm very excited to feel the environment of the stadium. I know that my English is not the best, but I will try my best." It's really weird to think about that only 1 year ago I thought this guy was going to be a guaranteed Liverpool player. But as reported in this article here, it is a question that many people asked over the past year. What made Zubimendi reject Liverpool? Telegraph Sport can now reveal the reason why. Around the time he was strongly considering the offer from Liverpool, but Zubimendi was also presented with an alternative opportunity, with even the reliable Sami Mokbel confirming. Arsenal delegates travelled to Marbella last summer to meet Real Sociedad, initially regarding Mikel Merino, but Edu Gaspar and Jason Atto depart with an agreement in principle for both Merino and Martin Zubimendi. And this is a player that will have huge implications to our season, reportedly coming into play as a number 6, anchoring the Arsenal midfield alongside Declan Rice. Not only could we see potentially a very exciting tactical evolution, maybe Mikel Arteta moving more towards a pivot, but ultimately Arsenal are getting one of the best controllers in all of Europe. Having seen the profiles of Vitinha at PSG, how fluid the PSG midfield was, Zubimendi to me is of a similar ilk. Players that are just a step ahead. It's not about their pace and power, it's more about their natural footballing intelligence. As described by his former coach Xabi Alonso, Zubimendi has the ability to generate play, to make those around him better, always offering solutions to improve the move. He understands what the next step is before the ball gets to him. He has the ability to organise the axis. And according to the player himself and his style of play, I don't really like to talk about myself. I would say that I'm a pretty versatile central midfielder who can play on my own or alongside others. I'm hardworking and bring balance to the team. You will see for yourselves. With a bit of confidence and arrogance towards the end, it's things that I love to see. With this being Arsenal's first major signing of the summer, for as solid as Kepa and Norgard will be, Zubimendi is arriving at Arsenal as a guaranteed first teamer, wanted by Real Madrid and Liverpool, but officially now a player of Arsenal Football Club. Now let's talk about the future of Leandro Trossard. After reporting in yesterday's video that Trossard had recently changed agency, despite initial talks that Andrea Berta was willing to offer the player a new deal, there's now a lot of rumours that those talks have stalled, potentially over the wages and maybe even the length. Now according to reports in Turkey, Fenerbahce have begun making moves to sign Leandro Trossard. The Belgian sees the Turkish giants with positive eyes. And it does make you wonder with the fact that Arsenal are chasing so many different wide forwards, having already seen it with Christian Mosquera, a player that Arsenal were going for before the departure of Takehiro Tomiyasu. If Arsenal can get Rodrygo, maybe even NSA, the profile of Trossard may not be as useful. So if the idea is to maximise the player's value, summer 2025 will be the best time to cash in. But I do want to ask you guys a question down below in the comments. If Arsenal are going to lose one left forward this season, would you rather it be Gabriel Martinelli or maybe Leandro Trossard? We've also got another update on the future of Nwaneri. After all the controversy caused in the past 24 hours, after Fabrizio Romano confirmed that Chelsea are showing interest, but only in the scenario that the player fails to agree a new contract at Arsenal. Now according to Mike McGough, Arsenal want to keep Nwaneri, and there has been some progression in talks in recent weeks, but so far an agreement has not been reached. Despite your boy making it already very clear, I'm fairly confident Nwaneri is going to sign. There is of course a very key factor that we have to talk about that could become the most decisive. As reported by Ben Jacobs, Nwaneri is only reluctant to sign a new deal at Arsenal without the guarantee of game time. Several clubs including Chelsea appreciate the player will all depend on Arsenal's pathway. Despite making over 30 appearances last season, when compared to the other star boy Miles Willis-Skelly, a player that at time became a guaranteed starter, Nwaneri does have a lot more quality ahead of it. Arsenal captain Martin Odegaard, who's been a guaranteed starter for so many years, but at the same time you've also got a very special talent. We saw the glimpses last year, we saw the goals in the Champions League. In my eyes, I have always seen it in one way. Nwaneri being a guaranteed Arsenal starter is only a matter of time away. But then you've also got to think about who Arsenal could be getting and who's coming through. With another star boy in Max Dowman soon on his way. According to the reliable hand of Arsenal, Chelsea floated the idea of including Dowman in a deal for Madueke, but that was immediately rejected by Arsenal, who see the player as their crown jewel. But in an area that you already have captain Martin Odegaard, you've got the potential of Ethan Nwaneri, that is also the same area as Max Dowman, players that will all want to be guaranteed starters. But here's where things become even more complicated. With the likes of David Ornstein already confirming Arsenal are on the market for a brand new attacker midfielder, the potential arrival of Eberechi Eze could also have a massive impact. According to Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal keep working on a conversation with the agents of Eberechi Eze, but still no club-to-club contact yet. With Arsenal on the market to go and sign a player who's 27 years of age and the peak of his powers, if Eze is seen mainly as a central attacking midfielder, despite of course being able to thrive on the left-hand side, I wonder if Nwaneri is looking towards that, and wondering how will that affect his playing time. But talking of Arsenal rivals, what about the surprise pursuit of Chelsea's Noni Madueke? Well, as confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Arsenal are set to send an opening bid for Madueke after an agreement with the player on personal terms. Madueke has committed to a 5-year deal, valid until June 2030, with the player giving Arsenal a full green light. The fact that Arsenal are about to make their first offer gives this deal a very good chance of escalating. But according to Fabrizio Romano, there is still quite a difference at the moment in Chelsea's and Arsenal's valuation for Noni Madueke. Reports claiming that Chelsea went up to £50 million, while Arsenal were only prepared to spend 30. For a player that has definitely caused a lot of controversy in the Arsenal fan base, why are Arsenal going for another right winger when you've got Bukayo Saka, that despite fans crying for so many years of why don't we have a player that we can rotate Saka with? Madueke would not be a guaranteed starter at Arsenal, but when you've got a player able to play on both sides, he could definitely be a floor raiser. But ultimately, as ever, the key behind it is going to be the price tag. At £30 million, Arsenal could be getting a decent deal, but anything over 40, and you start to question, is that the best fund allocation? But with Arsenal clearly on the market for a versatile wide forward, you do start to wonder why Arsenal haven't moved for the potentially available Mohamed Kudus, a player wanted by both Tottenham and Chelsea after Spurs saw a bid of £50 million rejected. That of course would be a far more expensive deal, but it seems like in this area Arsenal are looking for a player at their price tag where they could see Madueke as a market opportunity. When you look at the amount of wingers that Chelsea already have with the club, Pedro Neto, Jamie Gittins and the soon Terrell Estevao having agreed personal terms with the player, it gives Arsenal a very strong hand in negotiations, because they know the player wants to move, and Chelsea also need to sell. But moving on to the striker bomber, in a summer where Arsenal fans are starting to get bored, the names of Viktor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko being a constant, it seems like today we finally got some clarity. After an initial report from Ryan Taylor confirming, Arsenal believe next week could hold the key to the striker hunts, with Viktor Gyökeres threatening to go on strike for a move. This could force Sporting to stick to their agreements, while also providing leverage in Benjamin Sesko's negotiations. Despite reports making it clear time and time again, Sesko has always been the number one. Despite the best efforts of Andrea Berta trying to force the hand of RB Leipzig, Arsenal had set their price tag at £60 million. But after the hand of Arsenal reported, for the last 2 weeks the director of football of RB Leipzig refused to lower the price tag than €90 million, the mission then became very clear. For as great as Sesko can become potentially, you do not pay guaranteed level money for a player who is still seen as a prospect. Then followed by Project Viktor Gyökeres had begun, which all came from a David Ornstein bomb, confirming that Arsenal were in advanced talks with Sporting Lisbon over a deal to sign Viktor Gyökeres. Transfer fee discussions continue, but personal terms in place on a 5-year contract. The striker only wants Arsenal, with Arteta pushing for a swift conclusion. With the arrival of pre-season only weeks away, it was time that Arsenal be decisive. So as also confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Gyökeres has reached a total agreement with Arsenal on the contract terms, and informed Sporting his desire to join Arsenal, with no intention to discuss any other options, only to proceed with Arsenal as soon as possible. Deal is well underway, with Fabrizio also going as far as saying, Viktor Gyökeres and Arsenal, a here we go can be very soon. It seems like Arsenal have decided. Sesko's price tag goes too high, and with Gyökeres making it very clear, Arsenal is the team he wants. It was time to pull the trigger, with John Cross confirming Arsenal are closing in on a sensational swoop for Sporting Lisbon striker Viktor Gyökeres. Arsenal have agreed a 5-year contract in excess of £200,000 a week, with the only thing left being the final price tag. According to Ben Jacobs, Andrea Berta is trying for €70 million, while Sporting will hold out for 80. Ultimately, Arsenal now have a very good chance of making Viktor Gyökeres officially an Arsenal player. And for me, there's one key behind this entire deal: the clear desire of the player. As confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, Sporting, Arsenal and the agents are speaking constantly, with Gyökeres in contact with his agent every hour to be informed he's pushing to go to Arsenal. Whereas in the case of Benjamin Sesko, his agent had already confirmed they were never going to force a move away. Sesko was willing to provide the pressure. Gyökeres clearly was. And for a lot of Arsenal fans, that's been a key selling point. For as much as Arsenal fans appreciate profiles, there's something about the raw desire of a player wanting to play for your club, despite being chased by so many others, that just makes you want that player more. And make no mistake, Arsenal are not getting any sort of goal, with the whopping 66 goals last season in 67 appearances, higher than any other striker in all of Europe. We can talk about the fact that he isn't amazing in the air. His link-up play at times can be inconsistent, but having just seen Mikel Arteta coach Mikel Merino into a functional number 9, when you've got a striker that has elite ball striking, the mentality to constantly want goals, whether it was going to be Sesko or Gyökeres, Arsenal were always going to see a vast improvement. And now, according to Ben Jacobs, talks between Arsenal and Sporting for Viktor Gyökeres are this evening at the final stages, with all parties now optimistic. A here we go is around the corner. The Glock 9 is on his way, but will he be joined by Real Madrid's Rodrygo? After hand of Arsenal already confirmed, Rodrygo's preference is to move to the Premier League, with Arsenal's absolute priority if he is to leave Madrid this summer, but currently at the FIFA Club World Cup, where he was left once again on the bench, as Real Madrid beat Borussia Dortmund 3-2 to reach the semi-final, with Xavi Alonso once again preferring the far younger Garcia. Post-Club World Cup, I think Arsenal have a very good chance. We've seen the price of reportedly £70 million. If the player then makes it clear that he wants to leave, Arsenal have to be there and Arsenal will be there, and that's where things start to get exciting. With Zubimendi already officially signed, Gyökeres at a well-advanced stage, if you can then secure Rodrygo, maybe even Eberechi Eze, the Arsenal attack could be transformed, with this potentially being our brand new front three. Talk to me down below in the comments. Is that enough for Arsenal to get over the line next season? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, and the links are down below in the description. But that was all of your latest Arsenal transfer news today, and we finally got some clarification. Viktor Gyökeres is a striker that Arsenal are going for. The Glock 9 could be on his way, but will he be followed by Rodrygo? My friends, stay tuned as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and a bit.